Hello everyone, welcome back to Stay Sunny. It's so good to be back. I haven't posted in a little bit and I'm sorry about that, but I'm really excited about today's video because we are going to be talking about a very important mindset that has actually been super life-changing for me, and I hope it will be really life-changing for you as well, especially since we are getting to the beginning of a new year. A lot of us are looking for ways that we can upgrade our next year and looking for some new mindsets that we can bring into 2025. So I thought I would talk about one of the most important mindsets of all, which is the mindset of gratitude. Now, a lot of people, when they hear about the mindset of gratitude, their mind kind of turns off and they're like,
gratitude, just saying thank you or whatever, it's not that helpful. It can't change my life.
But it really can, if you really understand what gratitude is and what it means to not just have a practice of gratitude, but to have a mindset of gratitude and to have sort of a lens of gratitude that you see life through. So first off, why is gratitude so good for you? What makes gratitude, all that and a bag of chips? According to UCLAhealth.org, being thankful can reduce depression, lessen anxiety and worry, support heart health, relieve stress, and improve sleep. This is one of many studies that have been conducted on the benefits of practicing gratitude and having a gratitude mindset. If you would like more information, I highly suggest you go and look for studies that have been done on the benefits of gratitude, because there are so many. And personally, I feel more motivated, more optimistic, more joyful, more compassionate, and I am more generous with my time, energy, and resources when I choose to be more grateful versus when I choose to not be very grateful and to not look at my life through a lens of gratitude. So, if gratitude is so good for you, then how do we invite more gratitude into our daily life? And that's what I'm making this video all about. This video is going to be some helpful tips and some ideas for you that I have learned and I have practiced that have been really helpful for me in cultivating more gratitude in my life. So first, let's talk about the difference between just practicing gratitude and having a mindset of gratitude. Just practicing gratitude is the act of listing out things that you're grateful for or thinking grateful thoughts. It's more of an action, is practicing gratitude, and a mindset of gratitude is a way that you think. It's like a pattern of thoughts that you think constantly, and it's sort of a mental way that you think about things. And so our goal is to have a mindset of gratitude so that just every thought that goes through our brain just kind of goes through this grateful filter, and we just have a more positive and optimistic outlook on life. But the best way to cultivate a mindset of gratitude is to start by incorporating different gratitude practices into our lives. So let's start with some ways that you can practice gratitude more often in your life to help you cultivate a mindset of gratitude. First, take time every day, or multiple times every day if you would like, to list out things that you are grateful for. You can do this on paper, you can do this on your phone, you can do it have like a journal of things that you're grateful for, or you can even just sit there and just list out in your mind some things that you're grateful for. You can do this when you first get up in the morning, when you go to bed at night, on your commute. You can do it as part of another habit, maybe while you're brushing your teeth or something, or you can even do it with a friend or a loved one. You can be each other's gratitude accountability buddies, and you can have a time every day that you exchange some things that you're grateful for. Taking time out of your day to pause and reflect on some of the things that you're grateful for kind of shifts your focus maybe from some of the things that you've been worrying about or some things that are making you stressed or upset, and it reminds you of all the things in your life that are still going right. Because no matter how many things are going wrong in your life, there is always something to be grateful for, even if it's just small, simple things like, I'm grateful I'm breathing. I'm grateful that I have clothes to wear today. I'm grateful I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful that I even can feel feelings at all, even if these feelings are not as happy as I would like them to be. There's always something to be grateful for, and taking a minute or two out of your day every day to reflect on these positive things that you can be grateful for kind of rewires your brain from sitting in that mud puddle of upset feelings and dwelling on the things that are upsetting you, and kind of getting yourself out of that space and going into a different mental space of, no, I don't need to sit and think about the things I'm not grateful for. I have a lot of things that are still going right, and I'm going to choose to focus on those things, even if it's only for a few minutes. And often, the more time that you spend focusing on things that you're grateful for, the more often you will notice things that you're grateful for. It might seem difficult at the beginning, especially if you're not used to practicing gratitude, but the more often that you choose to practice gratitude and the more consistently you do it, the easier it will be to find things that you're grateful for until you start doing it without even realizing it. And that is where we start cultivating a mindset of gratitude. Secondly, it's really important not just to keep all of your gratitude to yourself, but to spread the gratitude that you feel to people around you, specifically by thanking people for the things that they've done for you. It's really important to let other people know that you care about them and to help them cultivate more gratitude in their life by feeling it through you. If someone has done something kind for you, just say 2 little words, thank you. It really makes a big difference in people's lives, and it makes a big difference in your life too. The more often you choose to thank people for the things that they've done for you, the more you start noticing the things that other people do for you, and you start feeling more appreciative, and you start feeling more loved and more cared about, and because you see all the things that people are doing for you, instead of just keeping your head down and just plowing through life. It kind of gives you a minute to pause and be like, oh, this person did something kind for me. I'm going to thank them for it. And it sort of gets you into a more positive headspace, similar to just practicing gratitude for yourself and just listing out things that you're grateful for. It's another helpful way to pause and reflect on all the things that are going well in your life and all the things you have to be grateful for. But it takes it a step further because now you are putting those thoughts of gratitude that you have into action. The final gratitude practice that you can do throughout your day and that you can incorporate into your life is noticing what thoughts you're having in your brain and what words that you're saying that are potentially not bringing gratitude into your life. Thoughts and words that are not very grateful. And catching yourself when you are thinking or saying things that are not very grateful and switching them to thoughts that are more grateful. For example, maybe you're having a thought that, oh, I don't want to do this. Like maybe you have to put away all your laundry.
Oh, I don't want to put away all my laundry. Gosh, I would rather be doing something else. Like, why do I have to do this?
You can catch yourself in those thoughts and say, flip it to the opposite. I'm grateful that I get to put away my laundry. I'm grateful that I have so many clothes to wear. I'm grateful I have a washing machine and a dryer to wash my clothes. I'm grateful that I have places to put my clothes away. I'm grateful I have 2 hands to fold my clothes. And see, it sounds so much more positive. These thoughts of gratitude, they just make you feel so much happier instead of just getting in that demotivated, frustrated mental place. It takes you out of that and gets you into a more positive place where you're happy to put away your laundry because you know it's such a blessing and it's such a privilege to have laundry to put away. Another important mindset shift is instead of being upset that you have to do something or that you have to have something in your life, such as maybe you have a really difficult struggle in your life that's been giving you a lot of stress, a lot of sadness, and you really wish it wasn't a part of your life, which is completely valid. It can be helpful to instead think of how your life would be different if you didn't have that thing. Maybe you've been really sick recently. It can be, even if it's just a little cold and it still feels really frustrating. You're like, oh, actually no, cold isn't really a great example. Let's take school for example. School can be really frustrating and really a difficult struggle for a lot of people, especially if it's really busy and you have a lot of deadlines coming up. Instead of dwelling on those thoughts of unhappiness, try and think of how your life would be different if you didn't get to go to school. I do this a lot on my mornings when I'm driving to school and I just don't want to be there and I would rather be at home in my bed, just relaxing. I think, how would my life be different if I didn't get to go to school? If I didn't have an education? If I didn't have that opportunity to become educated and to pursue better opportunities in life? My life would be so different. And I think of how much harder my life would be if I didn't have the access to education that I have. And by thinking these thoughts, I become grateful that I get to go to school, and I'm much more happier by the time I get to school. Another important mindset is when you catch yourself feeling thoughts that are ungrateful or saying things that aren't very grateful and are pessimistic and frustrated, you can think of how many people there are in the world that would give anything to have what you have. Let's say, think of an example. I know I already used school as an example, but this is a really good example. Say you don't want to go to school and you just are not feeling grateful for the privilege of going to school today. It's just not your day. Think of all the people in the world who would give anything for the education that you have. One time I was talking with a neighbor friend of mine, and she was talking about how her mom had worked for so many years to try and get an education, and it was really difficult in the time that she grew up and in the place that she grew up for her to get an education, and it was a really, really big struggle for her to get an education. And it really changed the way that I thought about my education. I realized that I had been taking for granted this blessing that her mom had to fight for years to obtain. And I just woke up every day and got to do it. It was just a normal part of my life. And I realized that I had been taking it for granted. And it really made me a lot happier to go to school because I knew that it was a blessing and a privilege. Now, being grateful and choosing to be grateful about everything that you possibly can doesn't mean that the hard things that you're going through don't exist. It's not burying your head in the sand and pretending that everything is okay when there are still problems in life. It's about choosing to have a more positive outlook on life and choosing to focus on the blessings that you've been given and the privileges that you have instead of focusing on your trials and your struggles. It's just a more optimistic way of looking at life. It's not ignoring the problems, it's choosing to look at the problems through a more positive lens. Hopefully this video and my tips were helpful for you. If you have any tips or thoughts about gratitude, feel free to leave them in the comments. And I really hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your holiday season. And I hope you feel loved and stay sunny. Goodbye everyone!